baby.
Welcome, welcome. It's your boy Mark, an MUFC fan, and you know what it is, guys. Smash the like and subscribe. Get in. It's the Man United match preview. And of course, guys, everyone's probably watching Champions League, but the Man United fans in here tonight, you legends, you are the true heart of Man United. You are why United have won so many things and why we will rise again from the ashes. And this is just me saying this because, it's the truth. And of course, guys, we're in a tough time. And as you know, there are lots of reports coming out. The Jim giving Ruben Amorim 3 games to get it right. Does that mean anything? What are we going to say about these things? We must discuss that. But let's look at the interesting concept of what is going on. Man United are at home this weekend on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And we will be facing none other than Chelsea Football Club. Guys, it's going to be an interesting test. Of course, many people, felt different types of ways about how we performed against Man City. It really wasn't the best. It really was not that good a performance. Yeah, of course, we had some moments in the game, but we were embarrassed 3-0 away from home. We must improve. Ruben Amorim must improve this squad. It's not something that we cannot say that can't be possible, that we're asking too much. We wrote off last season to allow the manager time to do what he needed to do with the drastic change in style, in system, in the way players are expected to perform during each match in the various positions. Some even are having to adapt and or modify their original performance or positioning in the team to compensate. Now, guys, it's one thing, but it's two things. And what I can say to you right now is that we definitely need to get this done. It's going to take some time. Of course, we need to be patient, but of course, we need to also get results for the board and the higher ups. So, Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, to have the faith to give this manager more time. Giving the manager 3 games to turn it around is not a solid situation. It seems much like the hastily made decision last season at this very same time. Guys, we need to give this manager time. So let's hope for a good match selection from the manager. Let's hope the players come out to perform. And of course, let's discuss, as you know, it's going to get interesting. Manchester United versus Chelsea. Yeah, guys, how are we going to line up against Chelsea? Of course, you see where the match is. These are our last or latest performances. Of course, you can see the wins, the losses, the draws, all what was happening before. And guys, it has not been the best. We've lost away. Oh, Ballet, can you hear me, bro?
Yo, yo, yo. Finally.
Finally, it works, right? Yeah, that's what we say. But 1 second, bro. I'm gonna just drop you into this layer here so you'll be better fit on the screen more in a appropriate manner. And I can hold on. Where this thing?
Hopefully Chelsea's gonna get bitch slapped come weekend. Fingers crossed. Obviously, a guy can dream, right? Because right about now, it sounds a little bit too unrealistic. But we can only pray after seeing how Munich bitch slapped Chelsea. We can only pray that we can leave somewhat of a mark on them as well when they come to Old Trafford.
Well, it's gonna be interesting, that's for sure, broski, because the manager has been given so much time. He has to perform. He has to come up with something in the next moment because it's going to be long. And as you can see, it's all roads points to Man United. Of course, my big head is blocking out part of Chelsea's record. But as you can see, they've had 2 draws, 2 wins. We've had We've had two losses, a draw, and one win. We're not that badly off, but the start has not been something or anything that's really giving the fans and the directors faith. Now, going against Chelsea could be a difficult game. But what can I tell you guys? It's a very interesting situation because you look at Chelsea midweek, they went to Bayern Munich and they got thumped 3-1. Harry Kane had a brace. Of course, Olise should have had at least two goals in the game to make it five, but he wasn't able to hit the back of the net. Quite like Garnacho was doing last season. When he kicked the ball against Joshua Zirkzee, it kind of reminded me of that when he tried to place that low shot underneath the goalkeeper and he saved it. But what I would say, Bali, interestingly enough, at home, Man United this season we have not really performed badly, and I would say that maybe we might come out with a strong showing. Now I can't say and be my usual super optimistic self and say we're gonna do something and score two or three goals and Chelsea is gonna be on the ropes, but who knows? Maybe the manager tweaks something. Maybe the players finally understand or finally get to the reading the room situation with what's going on at the club right now. Maybe the guys on the starting 11 might be just those guys who say, you know what, Gaff, we going down with the ship. You know what I mean? We go and fight till the end of the day. So maybe we could have a good performance. And when you look at it, we have been rested. So we should be fitter than Chelsea. We should have enough energy to run Chelsea to the ground in the first 45 to 65 minutes. It should be a situation where Man United shows that they are the rested team having one game a week after Chelsea just came on still on their way to Stamford Bridge from their Premier League outing in Germany last night.
Yeah, I mean that assessment makes a lot of sense. In a sense that they've already played midweek. Um, they got bitch slapped by Munich, and Cole Palmer was looking spicy, so we definitely got to look out for him. But other than that, if we can outwork them, and hopefully maybe the manager actually brings a few tweaks here or there to the system that we're playing. I'm not saying that he needs to go away from playing his beloved back three, but maybe he needs to just tweak a few things so we're a bit more solid in the midfield and a bit more solid in defence. Because it's the lapses in concentration that we're incurring that is actually stopping us from winning games. Now, against a team like Chelsea, you give them chances and they will take it. Talkless of some weaker teams in the league, they will also take chances because it's the Premier League. It's one of the best leagues in the world. We've got a lot of the best players in the world playing in the Premier League, especially in teams like Bournemouth, in teams like Newcastle, in teams like Everton. All these players are there and they're all dangerous players, on their day especially. So I think, again, back to the 1 day a week, we've just got to try and overwhelm them in the first 45 minutes. And if we're able to put ourselves clear and take the game away from them, then if we're able to at least give a performance for the next, maybe come out in the second half and give another 30 minutes performance and then shut the game out with the rest of the remaining minutes, then we should be okay for the victory if we're able to do that. If not, and we give Chelsea a sniff, we've already seen that they're going to take it. They beat PSG, right? So we already know, yeah, what they're capable of. Yeah, they can beat very, very, very good teams on their day, and we don't want to be a part of the people that's getting bitch slapped by Chelsea. Yeah, we want to do the bitch slapping for once. We played well against Arsenal. We didn't get the points that day. Fair enough. We didn't play good against City, right? We was awful against City, um, especially from an attacking perspective. I think we played way better in all our other previous games. Even if you go to the second half against Grimsby, even though we didn't win that game, we played
Mm.
much better. So I just think We definitely need to show signs of improvement. The manager does look like he's on the brink of no return, um, and I hope that he's able to turn the ship around. But in the event that he doesn't, it is what it is. Man
I
United
mean,
will
like, if
still
we
live
gotta
on.
be realistic at the end of the day, like Bali, a lot of people, they might be upset to the fact that over the game I was saying, sack him now. I was pissed off, bro. Yeah.
Mm,
And you have to understand, and people have to understand, Bali. Sometimes this get emotional is Man United. You know what I mean?
mm, mm,
It's not every time you're gonna be the same positive guy. Sometimes it might be a little bit emotional. Sometimes it might be a little bit stressful. You know what I mean? And to be honest, bro, to take that set of pounding that we've been taking over the last couple months and the banter included, yeah, it's a difficult time. It's a difficult time. And yeah, to be honest, bro, like I didn't want to start that mess, I feel like I started the messing away because right after I went on a tirade about that, all of a sudden there's all kind of thing going on this following couple of days. And
mm,
we said, as we spoke about this when Mendem was happy to sack Ten Hag last season around the same very time we was having that discussion. And we said to them, we didn't want to end up in this situation next year. You know what I mean?
mm,
And I say to you, we go be the same men them, the same last two men them, who go be saying we had to back this manager. You know what I mean?
mm,
And while you might be the last guy, because I kind of you could put me on the side where saying, well, bro, I ain't too certain. Yeah. Then it's like one of those things where you could look at it from a perspective where even though I'm not fully convinced, yeah, I feel like maybe he definitely need to change, and it's not just little tweaks. It's personally he need to start to talk like he want to be speaking confidence into the team. For me, you can't talk like a loser. You can't talk like you don't know if you go on win. You have to talk more confident. So your players go start to feel like, yeah, you confident because last couple of weeks I feel like the players starting to feel he not confident in what he coaching them. So if he not confident, who's we when we learning this from you? You understand?
mm,
And reality bites, bro. And it's a difficult pill to swallow. A lot of Man United fans, don't want to admit it. But yeah, we mightn't be in the sense a shit team, but we performances not up to the standard. Even as much as we would like to say under Ten Hag, his second season with the injury crisis, that the standard them brothers was playing at is still a higher standard than where we playing at currently. Because the league positions though lie. And them brothers finish eighth. And we don't know if we could finish above 10th right now with the way we're playing. You understand? And no, I'm not saying this because I want everybody to say, well, bro, Amarim, it's time to go. I'm saying this because at some point in time, we had a whole one, bro. And as much as we don't like it, if we want to move forward at some point, we got to hold it. And I only realized that the last couple of days because yeah, Ice was on my tirade, bro. I was talking all kind of trash about yeah, sack him now before because we can't see we wait since this guy come all kind of thing I was saying. But when I really deep it the last couple of days, when I watch the list of possible options to replace him, and I see that one name GS G first name last name S, brother, it got real. And when I say it got real, bro, I cannot, like, unbelievably, bro, that is the one time I'm not even backing their manager from the start. From the start, I want him out. You understand? So, with that in mind, I feel like a renewed, I have a renewed sense of interpretation, and I'm willing to give this manager the rest of the season. I feel like he could turn it around. It's not that dark yet. We're not in dark times like last season just yet. We still within touching distance. If we win two games, it could all look differently on according to the table. You know what I mean? So I willing to give the manager some more time. I'm not gonna stress it out. I'm hoping for a good performance this weekend. because we're in front of the home fans, the faithful. I'm hoping that the crowd will give the team some energy. I'm looking forward to seeing a decent starting lineup, bro. I don't pop any possible starting lineups anymore because I know this manager is still finding his best 11. So I don't want to predict because I don't want to get into this feeling where I expect these players to start and he starts some other players and I fretting at the beginning of the game before anything, a ball kick. So, in my honest opinion and your honest opinion, I'll let you go because I'm talking. But what your thoughts is? Who you think should be in the starting 11?
Um, well, for starters, I think we need to bring in Lemens because I just think we bought him for a reason. And I think a safe pair of hands behind the sticks is needed, in my humble opinion. Um, I did feel like our current number one, he did look slightly dodgy in that game, regardless of however anyone sees it. In my humble opinion, the minute you look somewhat shaky, yeah, then
Mm,
that that reverberates around the team. So bring in Lemens. Lenny Euro has been certified for a while now. Since he got manhandled by Suleimane, he's looked like a transformed player. So I want to see Euro playing. I want to see Mazraoui in the team. And Delict has probably been our best centre back so far this season. So he should be straight into the team. Now, here's like for me, I think we might need to do some changes. Um, I don't want to see Dorgu playing. Yeah. Normally I back Dorgu and whatnot, but he ain't playing well at the moment. So I don't know what change we need to put, or maybe we need to think about giving Leon a chance. I
mm,
think we need to give Leon a chance to stake his claim for that position because I just don't think Dorgu's playing well at the moment. I think he's playing average, at times below average, and his delivery has not been the greatest. And if you're going to be a wing back, you got an expensive striker like Sesko up front, and you're not giving him the ball from your crosses, then I don't think you should be playing. So yeah, we need to stop. We need to stop. We need to get attacking players in the wing back positions. We can't be getting these brothers who don't know how to attack or who's relying on somebody to it. We need beasts playing. So yeah, let's give Pedro Leon a chance. He might be hungry. He might light a fire under Dorgu's arse to say, "Yo, like this kid is gonna take my spot if I don't fix up." So that would be an option. I think we need to think about bringing Kobe Mainu into the team um, alongside maybe Casemiro or Ugarte. I think we need to put Bruno. I want to give a chance to playing Bruno a bit more further forward because we're not scoring any goals. But I propose that if it was up to me, I would play 110 right now and I'll play two up front. So I would probably move Mbumo into the right wing back because he's really the only one who wants to cross the ball. He's the only one who, if he chops inside, he shoots accurately. I don't think Ahmad has given us enough, right? And then if Cunha was fit, then I'd play Cunha and um, what's the striker's name again? How can I be forget Sesko? Cunha and Sesko up front. But if Cunha is not fit, then it would be Cunha and Xerxes up front. I mean Xerxes and Sesko up front. And that's what I would like to go with. Bruno in the 10 and Bumo as a wing back. Um, Pedro Leon as the other wing back. So you got two wing backs that want to maraud forward, cross the ball in to the strikers. You got Bruno that wants to supply the tens, take shots from distance. Yeah. You got Kobe who can be the creative spark from deep, dribble from the midfield into the attack. Then you got either Ugarte or Casemiro, who's going to mop up in the midfield and protect the defense. And then you got our defenders, Mazraoui, reliable, 7 out of 10, week in, week out, the lit, beast in the air, stopping anything aerially. You got Euro, beast of a defender, pace in abundance, a ball carrier, a brother that can carry the ball into midfield, tackle anybody who's coming down his side, and then you got a certified keeper who can play ball play and shot stop.
That makes sense.
So that's my perspective on the team. Maybe like I say, I would like the manager to tweak his system slightly, drop one of the tens and push that person further forward, making it two strikers, and then we have 110, and then at least we've got two guys that are acting as strikers, looking to play off each other with the number 10. You got two men that are already in the box when crosses are arriving, and then you got the number 10 that can arrive late and score goals. Yeah, so I just think right now we have a problem with scoring goals. I think the manager can try and tweak the system a little bit to alleviate the pressure just being on Sesko to just score the goals. I do know that you know, some of our attacking players want to just write their name and put their name in the headlights, forgetting about the team. But I think if the changes that I've made are is predominantly about the team, right? About
100%.
and that there's no I in team, and I just think there's a few players without singling out these people when they play. It's like they're the only ones that are putting the I in the team, right? And I'd rather there be like a cohesion where the team is perfectly balanced. We've got two strikers in the box at all times when the balls are coming in, because often at times a cross will come in and no one's in the box.
That is the weirdest thing
No
because
one's there.
I doesn't one man running in the box, the balls don't come. When men not in the box is when men putting passes in the box. It's the weirdest thing, bro.
Yeah, when the box is flooded, none of these boys want to cross the ball into the box. But when no one's in the box, that's when the ball's going across. I'm just like, why? Why? So if we got two strikers, somebody's got to be there.
Exactly.
Some,
I hear it. I mean, for me, if I was to say I like your changes, I not opposed to going to a two striker, but I would say if even self, I would say that be on a I'm making a drastic change. Yeah. But if you was to make a slight tweak, and let me just say you was to put Joshua Zirkzee in the 10 next to Bruno, right? Hear him out. You put in Mbumo on right wing back. Because he's gonna be bumming up that wing anyhow. Yeah. And then you're dropping now Kobe Minu next to Casemiro in the midfield. So you're solidifying that zone in front of the defense. You're playing Lissandro Martinez left. Delete, and then you're pumping Lenny Euro next to that. First half. You could make changes in the second half on the 60th minute. Could probably bring in a Mazarawi, bring in a next brother. You know what I mean? And on the left bring back, brother. I don't mind say what you saying there. I would have I was going to put Dogu there because I feel like with Alessandro Martinez there next to him, talking to him the entire time in certain moments. I feel like Lissandro would turn him on, go switch he on to the player he should be. You know what I mean? In game coach him.
I mean,
You
I hear you.
understand?
I hear you.
And if we was to get bits of that, then I think we have enough to deal with what we had to face with when it comes to Chelsea this weekend. Because if you consider you have that brother bombing up the wing with Lissandro Martinez guiding him, yeah. Then you have Mbumo dealing with the right. They have problems to look at. Yeah, creative maestro Bruno in the 10 next man named Xerxes, who's selfless. And you have Sesko up front. Bro, when you do bring in Cunha to the game, if he was to be available, I think he should come into the game as a substitute if he is available. Yeah, game at 30 minutes. You're bringing him on and you're taking off Bruno. Men might say I'm a Bruno fan, but you gave Bruno a rest now and you're bringing Cunha on now. So, and because Xerxes selfless, right? He go link up Cunha. You understand?
I mean,
You
I hear
understand
you.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
And he could also bring off Mbumo and bring on Ahmad. He get a
I,
full
I,
example for 65, 70 minutes. And what is expected of him in the last 30?
I think and this is the thing about management, right? What we've said, right? There is drastical surgery in a way, but at the same time, yeah, the manager has got to be brave to do certain changes. Because if he keeps on doing the more of the same, the more of the same, the more of the same, he is literally sacking himself.
100.
Because how it is now, these brothers ain't gonna how it is now, these current brothers ain't gonna change it around for you, bro. You have to actually say, do you know what? Has Dorgu worked? Has Ahmad worked? Maybe not. Is there anything I can change? Think about it. Who's most reliable? This guy's quite reliable when I've played him. And let's start. And also, if we do manage to beat Chelsea, I don't want to go into the next game thinking you're making sweeping changes. We need to play the team that won, because that's another
Killer?
thing. When we win, when we beat teams, man's going into the next game with a whole different team. It doesn't make
True.
sense.
Exactly.
Let's go into the game with the team that won us the game. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, let me keep some form of continuance going forward, some form of consistency. And listen, yeah, I'm not saying this because I want to change the manager, the way the manager doing things. But I certainly believe that the manager, you know, he I feel like he because he worried about certain things, he trying so many different things. When literally he could keep it a little simple sometimes and just play the team that win. Keep the winning. Don't change our winning team. The old time rule now. Keep our winning team starting. And then now from that performance now, you can see the consistent starting. You can see, well, okay, now when I bring this guy in, he making more impact. Let me get here starting the next game. Them is the kind of changes you could make. You know what I mean? Then the next game, only this it kind of work out. But when I bring on this guy as a substitute, he come on with the same kind of performance while I was starting him. So now I will start the next game and bring on the next guy. You know? Then you might say, well, look, you will start Ahmad instead of Mbumo on the right wing back. Well, you could start him the next game. And then give Mbumo a few moments rest. You understand?
Mm.
So these is things where it make more sense to me. It give the players a little bit more sense of reward for good performance. And you have competition because the player now who coming off the bench knowing he only getting a chance to start if he play over you, play better than you in them little less minutes, 2 games in a row. That's the only how he go and get a start in front of you. So he can't just say I'm putting it all out on this 45. He got to pull it out on the next 40, the next chance he get as well. Competition, you know. But you had to manage competition. If every time a team perform and then one man get injured by a change in around two, three players when they're just supposed to just bring on the substitute who come on in the last game and bring and help you win the game against Burnley. You're making life difficult for men. It's like why men working hard for when they just go and change things now to so I still a fucking sub. You understand?
Yeah,
That ain't making sense. I ain't like
yeah.
that.
By rights, Joshua Xerxes should be seeing far more minutes than he is right now. And regardless of whatever people think, oh, well, he's not scoring enough or whatever, but just actually deep it. When you see him playing,
Mm,
how is Manchester United playing?
better.
Way better. Way better. And there's something about the way he plays with the team that gives them more confidence. I've seen it. Like, and I'm not somebody who's fully advocating for his goal scoring capabilities or whatever, but there's just something about the way that he plays that makes everybody get involved. And I like it. Yeah, he knits the play together excellently. And we have, unfortunately, our attack is disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couple of guys who want to be mavericks and be the one to win us the game, and then you got one guy who's trying to help us either from a goal scoring perspective or from a chance creation perspective, and then you got another guy he's just new to the league, doesn't really know what runs to make, doesn't really know how his team plays, doesn't really know like. So at the end of the day, we could actually be making the game a way more easier for Sesko, but we don't. We
Bro,
could be making it way more easier for him, but we
help.
don't.
All we had to do is help a man find his foot. You know, you don't carry a man to the well and feed him, you know. You carry him to the lake and you show him how to fish. You understand? And
Mm,
this is why I tell people it's not about putting passes in an area sometimes, it's about finding the man. Because Sesko, you don't know he don't know you. Yeah? But what gonna make the world easy for both all is if you just look for where he going and put the ball for he. You understand? Because when you put the ball for he and he realize when he in the box, you putting it for he. Now he know he could go anywhere in the box and you will find him. You understand what I'm saying?
mm,
Because if two times he make a run and the ball come to him, then he go start looking now and making runs in different closer. You know what I mean? Closer runs. He go cut across the box now. He go stay far because he realize now you're looking for him. But you know, if you're not looking, if a man don't know you're looking for him, cause if he making runs and he ain't using him and he dummy and then he go stop making runs. It's a normal thing. We see this with strikers all over the world in all kind of different teams. You see that with Hoyland last season. Yeah. Talking about that brother on the pitch against Man City right now for Napoli, who down to 10 men.
who's down to 10 men?
Napoli.
Wow, that's
Is that
crazy.
borderline? It should be a yellow card. Let me read.
Okay, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even going back to Manchester United, right? I needed what I wanted initially from the Chelsea Bayern Munich game is that they engage in a war, yeah, a high scoring war, and then when they come back to Manchester, they'll be a little bit more tired, extra game in their leg and whatnot. It almost did turn into a war because at one point it was 3-2, but then that goal got ruled out. So it's not as if Chelsea weren't. I think they didn't really turn up until they went a few goals down anyway. I don't
Mm,
think they. I don't think Chelsea were trying to turn up. I think they had Old Trafford in their mind as well as the Bayern Munich game, and I think that is what contributed to them ultimately failing to win this in that game that happened last night. Although
mm.
they tried to claw it back, um, once they were losing, it was too late, and Bayern Munich went and scored another goal, but interestingly enough, they did try and save something in the tank until Bayern Munich forced them to come out of their shell. So big up to Bayern Munich, man. You lot were doing the Lord's work. Hopefully, when these guys come to Old Trafford, we can actually put it on them as well, run them ragged,
Pause for a
wear
big
them
cause there,
down,
bro.
and score.
Pause
Yeah,
for a cause. God smiling on Trinidad and Tobago right now. Trinidad and Tobago football girl Lisa life. Brand new life. Oh God. Thank you. I'm telling you. Bali, you see this brother here? He gone? Oh God, Bali. Since I was a youth man, this man and he friends and family, yeah, they use their power to make themselves wealthy and thing now. You said parents who have money, you get them a little something, your son get a little call up for the under 15, under 17, these things, bro. Oh gosh, sure that football go see life. Go see life, bro. But
big up
anyway,
to Trinidad football.
but anyway, right now Man United need to see life. And Amarim need to do some he need to really come out with a fresh new energy, bro, because he had it when he now arrived, but somewhere down the line he lost it. He lose confidence in it as well. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, and I'm telling you, I mean, he is cleaning up. I had to say, just like you're cleaning up the place in Trinidad. I mean, Amarim cleaning up the place in Man United. He getting rid of certain players that everybody would agree with. Maybe we don't think they're at the level that we need, or maybe they're surplus to requirements. So, in a sense, just feel hard done for the brother, bro, because I don't like this kind of mid-season kind of business. I rather, yeah, deal with the outcome of the season. Worst case scenario, we do it in January, but never before January, bro. I don't believe in them thing at all. Cause it's be too drastic.
Yeah, we don't. This is the thing, right? And this is what annoys me is that the club will spend money on the manager's vision, and then before it even gets off the ground, they're sacking them. They've already spent 200 plus million,
Hmm.
and now they're like trying to go in another direction, and that's the issue that I have. So yes, we signed a manager mid-season whilst the season had already kicked off, that is married to a free at the back system. Now, if we go and if we sack him and we go and get another manager that plays a completely different system, then to me you've already wasted the money. Not to
And two
say that these
years.
not to say that these guys can't play in other roles, but you've already wasted the money from this season. So you wasted the money from Ten Hag season when you went and spent whatever you spent. Because in my humble opinion, had Amarin been the manager, then you might not go and sign the people you sign. You might not sign Delit. You might not sign Mazraoui. You might not sign some of these players. Not to say they're bad players or anything. It's just they might not be the profiles that that manager
Wanted.
wants. So you've gone and signed players for Ten Hag, cool. Now you've gone and signed some players for Amarin, cool. But if he gets sacked, you bring in another manager. Let's say you bring in Luis Enrique, right? Then Luis Enrique is gonna want ultra techie ballers now, so he's going in a completely different direction. So
100.
for me, it's like you're signing all these brothers with different managers in mind, But at the end of the day, we're gonna go back to the same problems. We're gonna have a we're gonna have a Frankenstein squad. We're gonna be complaining about this, that, and the third, and managers are gonna struggle to get the best out
Power
of the
on
squad
offside.
because they're always
Oh
gonna
no,
have
new offside
players
rule.
in the system that they don't like. If you continue with a manager and you persist with a manager, at least that manager can build a squad, yeah, that eventually will start working because we've signed the players with the correct profiles in
Hmm.
order for their football to work. And
I won't
then
lie.
if we
Foden
sack a
make that look
manager,
so fucking easy there, bro.
and then if we sack a manager, we can get a manager that has a similar sort of system. And then we can carry on going down that path of a manager who's playing a certain way. But now I fear is that we sack this guy, and then it's like what we was doing before, right? So we have a certain style of manager, and then we're going to a defensive manager.
Mm.
Then we're going to a manager that throws everyone forward. Then we're going to a manager that's just possession. He just holds possession for holding possession. It's like, why are we doing this? We're going
Why,
from pillar to post with every and like we need an actual plan. Yeah, and we need to see the plan to the end of the plan rather than yeah
bro?
go it's like we're going to the beach, we're driving to the beach, yeah, the sat nav is telling us we're going in a certain direction. All of a sudden you start taking lefts and rights. At this point you're not even I don't even know where you're going now because it's said that the beach is straight. You've taken a left, you've taken a listen, I want to get out of the car, bro. We're going 90 mile an hour, but at this point now, I just want to get out of the car because I don't know what you're trying to do. Yeah, you're not trying to take me to the destination that you advertise. As far as I'm concerned, you kidnapped me. You get me? So the club need to go in the direction that they said they were going to go in. If they need to sack the manager, but go get a manager that is gonna make your investment pay off because you've
100.
now invested in players to play a certain way. So if that manager can't fulfill his obligations, we need a manager that can that can play in the way that the club intended initially. Barcelona just scored a goal, and guess who scored?
Rashford.
Marcus Ross Clark Rashford.
I tell you, he go score tonight, King. I tell you, Rashford will bang tonight. I tell you that. I tell you on the phone. I tell you, don't worry, he go score. Relax.
Newcastle, Newcastle at sixes and sevens, looking all pissed off. Rashford scored his goal, so now you might start
And
cooking.
watch me. He off the mark.
Mm,
He want to be at Barca. Hansi
mm,
Flick like him. Clearly.
mm.
Yeah? It beginning. It
Good
beginning.
header
The
as well.
Juju done it.
Very good
Whoever
header as
Juju
well.
it wasn't done.
Well, Newcastle are responding by Volta Maida. He's warming up. He's gonna come off the bench now. He's gonna come off the bench.
I don't know why
So
he was on the bench in the first place. Then them
I
want to
don't
win
under,
tonight. They're too late
I
though.
don't.
The Lara Rashford scored too late.
Well, it's not even the 60th minute yet. It's coming towards
Bro,
it, so they still
listen to
got
me.
time.
Rashford score. You don't want me to tell you where he go on in the next 10 minutes. The next time he get a run, if he ain't score, he will get assist. You go see it. Barcelona go and score 2-0 on maybe the 60th, 67 minutes, somewhere like it. Watch and see.
The quality of the Barcelona players is some of the stuff that some of these guys are doing. Even the guys that are playing at the back, yeah,
Mm,
phenomenal. The way these
phenomenal.
guys yeah, the way these guys play, it's crazy. In some instances, you're low key jealous because you can see the quality. Like you understand, you can see the quality. Yeah. But yeah, as you say, Lissandro Martinez
That's
is
a
coming
red card,
back.
you know. How would I know a red card for Napoli for Pep play for Man City there? The man now hit a man a elbow straight to face. You can see the man put his hand back like this. Rah. You can see the man do that. You understand?
Mm,
To the man face. Not even a card the referee share. Bruh, the referee doing this team nasty.
mm.
But Man City can do men with the wall. If the barge men push men in the back, nothing. Referee tell them men go.
They're
Anyway,
making
who cares?
Newcastle are making sweeping changes right now. They're about to bring four man a quadruple substitution.
For Eddie Howe?
Yeah, quadruple substitution
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
that is still too late, bro. Rashford score. He will score again. If he didn't score again, he will get assisted. Don't let he score one thing in these kind of games, bro. It's
But
Champions League.
but but this is what I like. A manager saying F that quadruple substitution. Yeah, we're gonna turn
Mm-hmm.
up the heat on these men. That's what I like to see. Not a manager that's trying to flip in, change the game in like trying to bring on subs in like the last 5 minutes of the game. Like to me, that don't make no sense. Yeah,
Brother,
you like
where's the
how what
point of having
how they
subs, five subs, if you go and use two alone? You
yeah
understand?
yeah
If you in lead in a game and you're looking for goals and you're going into the half, you gotta change something. You gotta send
mm,
messages, King. And some men not sending the right messages in time. But
mm,
that's a discussion we will have tomorrow, bro. Yeah? Because I have an idea for we to talk about certain things tomorrow. Because we had to discuss the Premier the weekend, and we had to, and it will have a game tomorrow. There are games going on in the Bundesliga and in the Premier League. So maybe we could just come on and have a discussion while that maybe I watch the Bundesliga game, you watch the Premier League game that on tomorrow night, and we just talk. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have a prediction in my head yet. But off the top, without even thinking, I would say 2-1 Man United.
man. At this point in time, I even settle for a flipping 1-0, bro. I'll settle for a 1-0. Yeah, I know I want to see goals and all of this type of thing, but I'll take a 1-0. I'll take a scrappy 1-0 Sesko with the winner. Um, and no one conceding any goals and a solid defensive display. Yeah, because I've seen too many calamities from the brothers between the sticks. I've seen too many calamities or lapses in concentration from the brothers who's supposed to be defending the goal from the defenders, and I've seen too many lapses in concentration from these guys in the midfield. But then also the lapses in concentration from when these guys got gilt edged chances and they don't finish them. So, as far as I'm concerned, we need to sort out our clinicality, and we need to get back to doing what we do. Yeah, we are Manchester United. Yeah, teams are supposed to fear us. If teams ain't fairing us, then we're doing something wrong. Now, regardless of however you see things, the opening game of the season, we forced Arsenal to give us respect. We forced it. We forced them to hand us the respect. Yeah. Regardless of whatever you think, yeah, I know Arsenal fans who were saying to me after the fact, after all the boasting all week about how they're going to do this and that to us, they said, "Oh, we're lucky," you know. They literally said it to me. We were so lucky. Yeah. So regardless of, and I'm a firm believer in, it's not necessarily about the loss, it's about how you lose. If you lose giving your all, making the other team look rubbish, yeah, making Manchester United look superior, yeah. Even if we lose like that, yeah, at least the fans can look at that game and objectively say it didn't work out today. We have to start getting wins on the board, but you're not looking at the management sideways. You're thinking, okay, it's only a matter of time before we turn it around. But if you lose and you lose horribly, especially in the fashion that we lost to Man City on the weekend, the management ain't gonna stand for that. The ownership ain't gonna stand for that. The fans ain't gonna stand for that. The British media ain't gonna stand for that. Everybody is gonna be at our necks. So the players gotta go and do some soul searching. Obviously, you would think that watching other clubs in the Champions League on TV, knowing that you haven't got no Europa League, knowing that you haven't got any Conference League. Oh, Rashford again. Rashford again, bro.
But I just tell you,
He's doing the point into the
I don't
head
watch the game.
celebration. He's doing the point into the head celebration. All the Barcelona team is embracing him right about now.
That's it, they done. Deal done.
Rashford,
He
Rashford's
bring them
got a
from the
smile on
brink.
his face,
He carry
and
them
guess
straight through. That is it, they go start to play with he
guess
going
who's
off, he
sitting in
gonna
the
have a
crowd?
30-plus goal season in Spain.
Guess who's
We not
sitting
talk
in the
about it.
crowd? Guess who?
Good for him. We will get him money.
Yeah,
Love
he
that.
scored a banger as well. He scored a banger from outside the
Bro,
box.
bro.
Top bins.
Rashford,
Top
bro, let
bins.
me tell you, I'm gonna ask that question.
Disgusting goal.
Name one player who mend his rate that those score bangers.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I can tell you it on
I
the tip
don't
of
know
my
any.
tongue. The type of man who, for me, I never see you score a banger, bro. But he's
Who's that?
talking about he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Who's that?
Ahmad, he never score a banger, bro. The closest thing to a banger is not really a banger, but when he flick the ball, I kind of when it loop over the keeper into the net. I not a banger.
No,
A
it's not
banger
a banger. But
is a bullet up in a V somehow, somewhere, from in and around the box or outside. You know what I mean? Something that tell you, hey, man, no way, it wasn't stopping that, King.
I think
You know
he's
what I
more
mean?
of I think he's more of a finesse shooter than someone that scores the bangers.
But he don't
Um,
even score plenty finesse shots, bro. So it's like, I can't even say it. It's like, bro.
but that's why for me, you need variation in your shooting. You need finesse shooting. You need bangers. You need chips over the keeper. You need a varied amount of shots, one touch finishes. Like, but these brothers, and this is the thing that pisses me off. Yeah, these brothers are not certified shooters, but they want to be holding on to the ball and work their way into a position where they can always shoot rather than thinking, okay, let me see if someone's in a better position. Like,
Nah.
they're always thinking about shooting. And while I have no problem with shooting, if your MO is, okay, yeah, I'm going to get the ball, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to work my way into position, I'm going to shoot, to me, we already know what you're going to do. The easiest people to defend against
It's
are
people
the
like you.
guys that are predictable. Once you
Exactly.
once you're predictable, we know what you're going to do. That means, yeah, you're telegraphing every single thing you do, you're telegraphing it. Yeah. The best way of doing something is it where we don't know what you're gonna do, and that keeps people honest. If
Exactly.
if we don't know what you're gonna do, the opposition don't know how to defend against you. But if they know exactly what you're gonna do, they've been watching video of you all week. Oh yeah, he's gonna cut in, he's gonna shoot. They know how many people to put on you when you get the ball in certain areas and what's gonna happen. But if they're like, okay, he's gonna play the 1-2. Okay, he might cross the ball in. Okay, he might take us down the line and cross the ball in with his right foot. At this point, it's like we don't even know what he's gonna do now because I've just mentioned three or four things that he could do that he might not do. But what he does do is he holds on to the ball for too long. If other players are running, he's not releasing them. So I'm just sick of our players thinking, yeah, if I score the most goals, then I'm gonna start making the most money. Because I think that is the culture at the club, unfortunately. It's about whoever scores the most goals is gonna be on 300K a week. And we need to stop all this shit. Yeah, we need a flipping team, a united team. Yeah. We're not
100%.
in our forward line, there's too many individuals. And Boomer wants to play like a team player. I can see it.
Yeah.
Xerxes wants to play like a team player, but he's bench. And then we got the rest of them, flipping misfits. Yeah. And at the end of the day, somebody's got to get these guys on the training ground, knock their heads together, and say, "Why the fuck are you not playing with each other more? Why is
True,
this
bro.
guy holding on to the ball forever in a day and trying to dribble past 4 or 5 men? Why are we not?
And not even getting one assist in
I
90
mean,
minutes,
it is
brother.
what it is. But some United fans are gonna be like, "Oh, but no, you're just saying this about this man and that man." But bro, how many managers are we gonna get sacked playing in this fashion? We got rid of some players because maybe you could argue that some of them are not team players. You could argue that some of them are not that productive. So we've gotten rid of these guys to make the team better. But now we still got some guys that are still here that don't play like team players. And we've bought a new guy who is supposed to improve us. And by all accounts, if he had scored the goals that he scored, then I could forgive him for not setting any chances up or giving any balls to his teammates, but he's been missing his chances. So how many chances has he created for Sesko? None really. How many chances has he created for anyone else? None really.
Mm.
So he has maybe a few, but not enough to justify the hefty price tag. The price tag was
100%.
hefty. So especially if you come from another Premier League team, you're supposed to hit the ground running. It's not like you moved from Spain or you moved from Portugal or France or something, and then you had to start learning the language, and then your wife has got all these issues and problems. No, yeah, they're aware of the English culture, the English weather, they're aware of the pie and mash and all of these other traditional types of things that English people like to frequent with, and all the restaurants and this and that. They know people. Yeah, they probably was already in some group chats and whatnot. Some of these wives they would have met before in certain intimate settings. So it's not like you're just coming to a place that you don't know. You've played against Manchester United so many times. You're aware of what it takes of what it takes to play for a club like this. And I said it before. If we sign Premier League proven players, I'm expecting these men to hit the ground running. That's what I'm expecting. I'm not expecting man to start looking like sausages when they're playing for us. Yeah. I'm expecting these guys to move like they got sense. So come weekend, yes, it's Chelsea. And yes, Chelsea are a good team. But Chelsea ain't head and shoulders way better than us. They're not.
They're
Yeah,
not.
they're not. And
And not only that, bro, like, if you look at the scoreline, the head-to-head there, United have like 13 wins compared to Chelsea having like 8. So, and I mean, in all total meetings, we meet like 25 times. So it's something where United in total in a control leadership of the victories. So we definitely need to step up this weekend. We need to find the energy somewhere, and we will see how it goes, bro. Like I say, it go be a tough game, but the brothers and them need to be up for it because at the end of the day, we are Man United and we expect top performances. You know what I mean? We're not expecting nothing less than we paying men, and we paying men hefty salaries. So I expect men to perform. I don't expect anything less from brothers at this point. So it is what it is. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. And all the Chelsea fans in the building. If you think you're going to slap Man United, let me know in the chat. Drop it in the non-live section. Let your comments be heard. We will reply to them. And of course, I think Man United might pull a win out their hat. I think 2-1. Bali say he will take a 1-0. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, Amarim's job is on the line. He definitely needs to get it done. He's been given 3 games to get it right. And of course, we here at Red Devil Mode, we are going to try to see what happens because we was in this situation last season, and I'd argue we was coming off a win in the FA Cup, having Europe and all these things, new players coming in just like this season, but we didn't have the patience that it would have developed into something much better. So we went ahead, and if we do it again, I would say haste make waste, and we'll be doing it a second time in a row. But anyway, shout out to each and every one of you watching. Shout out to Bali Tech for being here. And guys, you know what it is? Smash the likes and subscribe. You know what it is.